put a new hat on today. This is courtesy of Lynn Moore, who comes all the way from Adelaide.
Well, it dragged the boat over to the right rather than to the left.
Mudge is happy. He's found himself a stick to chew. Hasn't he, mate? Well, good morning, and it's a morning for us, a first frost. The temperature is currently 0 degrees Celsius. I think that's 32 degrees F, and as you can see, there's a bit of frost on the ground. Excuse the camera shake, but we found ourselves a nice little spot last night just after Bridge 3. We're on the Llangollen Canal now, and lovely little spot, and the weather is now turning settled, and because of it it's turning colder, but one glorious day. So the plan today is to try and reach Wrenbury if we can, and as you can see, young Smudge, I've let him off lead so he can have a little run before we get going. So I think we got 4 or 5 locks till we get to Wrenbury, and enjoy the cruise. Well, we're just getting underway now, and yes, I'm wrapped up well this morning because it is bitter cold. I don't know if you can see my breath there, and I've put a new hat on today. This is courtesy of Lynn Moore, who comes all the way from Adelaide. She visited us in the beginning of the year, and she gave me this lovely hat, and I have to say it's toasty warm. I think it's their local soccer team or something like that, but it's warm. It's keeping my ears warm and my head, so thank you for that, Lynn. It's going to come in most handy this winter. I shall be wearing this a bit more often, I think, but for now we're just getting underway. It's a beautiful morning, hardly a breath of wind, and all the ropes are frosted up and iced up, but we're going to get going. So sit back and enjoy the cruise today.
Since leaving Chester, we've been steadily cruising south on the Shropshire Union Canal out of Chester. On our last episode, we cruised from Cristleton by the Costa Coffee drive-through and on past Waverton to spend a few days in Tatton Hall Marina. We then continued up 5 locks to Bunbury and the staircase, and then on to Calverley, where we spent the night. The next morning we turned at Hurlston Junction and headed up the Hurlston locks on the Llangollen Canal before mooring just past Bridge 3. On this cruise we continue that journey through beautiful scenery and locking up the Swanley and Badley locks to moor up just short of Wrenbury.
And I forgot to mention, I know some of you like to follow our cruises using a map, and there are 3 options you can use. We use the Pearson's, and the one we're using at the moment, the Pearson's book, is the Welsh Waters one, and today's cruise currently takes in sections 17 and 18 on in that book, so if you'd like to follow us with that. If you're on the Hutchinson's, not quite sure what book to follow, and failing that, you can follow us on a phone app called Open Canal Map. It's free, you can download it onto your phone. I think there's Android and iPhone versions, and you can follow us using that if you wish to.
The Chamberlain Coal Carrying Company is based at Burland on the Llangollen Canal here. The fuel boats cover the Llangollen and the South Shropshire Union canals and sell diesel, smokeless coals, colour gas and sundry items to boaters and Canalside properties along the route. During the winter months, they are the lifeblood of boaters, keeping them supplied in essential supplies.
Morning. Yes, thank you. All sorted.
House with a funny chimney. Pretty chimney.
Interesting chimney on this property.
Yeah.
It's like a spiral. This is Swanley Marina, and if you recall 2 years ago we went in there and had AmyJo's bottom shot blasted and blacked with 2-pack. That was 2 years ago, so that was the last time we were up here.
Looking at the bywash of this lock, I moved AmyJo over to the right, expecting the water to push her over to the left and line up onto the lock. But it didn't go as I expected.
There he comes into this lock. It's very pretty round here. There we go. Take you on a circular tour around the lock and back again. Into the sun. Beautiful views, especially when it's weather like this. Nice and sunny. There's Captain down there.
Yeah.
Got a silt with a bit there.
Well, it dragged the boat over to the right rather than to the left. The flow would show it would push it to the bank, but it didn't. That's why I ended up hitting the wall. Which if I slowed it down inside.
Oh, I thought you took that.
No, I hit the wall. So, we're now in Swanley, number 2 lock. There's one of the 2 locks just after Swanley Marina.
One of the problems we're having videoing at the moment this time of year when the sun is out, unfortunately we are cruising straight at it most of the time, and it's making it very difficult to film anything apart from where we've been.
When going up the lock, this is why you have to be careful. Because of that beam there, you can catch the boat on it. And if you don't watch, it can just hold the bow under. Shut the gate for us.
Yep.
Honey pop! Ooh. Oh, that's warmer, isn't it, eh? That's much warmer. My appointment. Sign on the gate.
Where?
On the gate, relative to my appointment.
Yeah, I don't know if you can see that. Chris just pointed it out. On the gate there beside the house, there's a sign, and it says relatives by appointment only. Oh, what a beautiful day, and what a beautiful scenery. Absolutely stunning along this stretch. Really, really beautiful. And we've just reached the second of the Swanley locks. This is Swanley lock number 1. And then we've got a bit of a gap before 3 more. think they're on board.
No, actually out walking. Smudge is loving the freedom today. He stops for a bit, checks I'm still here, and then he normally charges back off again.
Smudge is happy, he's found himself a stick to chew. Hasn't he, mate? Hey, and the longer the better.
Is that just to prove that you do some of the work? I've just realised what it's doing.
Some of these Bywashes are a bit vicious this morning. Really throwing AmyJo around as I come in the lock. You can see very well with this low sun, but this is Baddeley lock number 1. It's our 3rd lock and final lock before the lift bridge, and then Wrenbury village.
As we approached Wrenbury and the lift bridge, we discovered that a boat had just gone through and the lady crew member was waiting at the lift and allowed us to pass through before she dropped the bridge.
Thank you.
Now what we do here is take the first space we can, yes?
Well, we can go up behind those boats. Is that what you want?
That's the end of a very pleasant cruise, if cold. But as you can see, the heavens are being good to us and we've got sunshine. We've managed to find ourselves a lovely little mooring at Wrenbury with open space next to us, as you can see. And we're getting loads of lovely solar, which we need this time of year. So we're more than happy here. We're only a short walk into the wharf up there by the lift bridge, and it's only a small walk round into the village just over there. I don't know if you can see because of the sun, but as you can see, it's a glorious afternoon. It's worked out a really lovely cruise today. We've thoroughly enjoyed it.
As we had time on our hands in the afternoon, we decided to visit Wrenbury's church. St Margaret's church overlooks Wrenbury's village green, so it was a pleasant walk to the church. The church is recorded in the National Heritage List for England as a designated Grade 2 listed building. This was originally a chapel of ease to St Mary's Church, Acton. The present church dates from the early 16th century with alterations and additions in the 18th and 19th centuries. The nave and porch were restored in 1794 and the chancel was rebuilt in 1806 and restored in 1865. The nave contains box pews, many of them having the arms of local families on their doors. The pew nearest the door was for the dog whipper who, in addition to controlling dogs in the church, had the duty of waking those who fell asleep during the sermon. The tie-beam roof of the nave, which includes bosses, dates from the late 16th century. The pulpit is early Georgian, and the west gallery dates from the late 18th century. The parish chest is in the tower. It's over 6 feet, 2 metres long, and is secured by 14 iron straps. In the churchyard is a cast iron gravestone dating from the middle of the 19th century. The railings, gates and gate piers to the churchyard are listed at Grade 2, as is a cottage in the churchyard. The churchyard also contains the Commonwealth war graves of a British Army soldier of World War I and a British soldier and airman of World War II.